Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and I am sitting here with a hodgepodge of collectibles and toys purchased from Disney on my recent trip, or I should actually say the last several recent trips. You see, as those who watch the channel know, our daughter works down in Disney, or I should say worked. She is now moving back up to New Jersey. But for the time that she was down there, whenever there was something that was newly released in the theme parks, I would ask her when she gets a chance to go and pick that up for me, in which she did, and I paid her for it. And then she would store it in her apartment. And then usually in the summer, when I'm there with my car, I can actually load up my car with the things that she purchased. So some of these things are going back to April to a spring break trip, and maybe even some from a holiday trip. So I'm pretty jazzed to get this all out to you. This is actually part 2 of a video that we did last time, where we were starting to unbox the Disney collectible haul, if you will. This is part 2, and there's actually going to be 4 parts altogether. So there's this part, and then 2 more coming. That's how much items there are, which is kind of funny. I know that I thin out my collection, and it seems like I'm just filling it back up again. But believe me, a lot more went out than came in spite of what it might look like. A lot more did go out. And the thing is that I do like having stuff in the collection, to admire and to display and to look at in different ways. And then eventually it's all going to find its way into other people's collections anyway. But I just enjoy sharing this with everybody. So I figured I would start with part 1. So obviously we're going to save the big one here, the Carson Teva, for last, because it is the premier item of this haul. So some of the things we're going to unbox, some of them we're not. So we'll start with, I'll try to go through the things that are going to stay packaged. We'll start with our Droid Factory from Ahsoka, right, which includes C-110P Chopper, C-4R4C, Professor Huyang, which is really the reason I got this, and RD3. I love these droid packs that they do that tie into whatever TV streaming service or movie is out at the moment. So I think this is great. I might take these out of the package. I do miss the Droid Factory. For those who don't know, the original Droid Factory was actually a setup in Star Tours gift shop, and I think they had another one in downtown Disney Springs, where you could go and make your own droid, and they had all different types of domes and kind of like the figure version of the Droid Depot, right? But they don't really do that anymore. Ever since COVID, that seems to have shut down, and they don't seem to be bringing it back. But they instead have been producing these kind of 4-packs and 2-packs and single packs, and so it's exciting to have that. So this one will remain boxed. We also have, I'm going to hold on to this. This is actually something I should have actually included this in a few videos ago when I was doing I guess it was the last video, the part 1, the character warehouse. This was actually a sale item. It is a Black Spire Outpost and data pad. So this is like allowing you to kind of doctor up your phone and make it look all fancy like a data pad. Now, I do believe this would work with my current phone. I'm looking at the phone, I'm using it to film, and I'm like kind of measuring this out, and I think it would work. But nonetheless, I'm not going to unbox this. I just like the greeblies. I like the look of it. I like the look of the box. So I have a nice Galaxy's Edge display, but you can see there's this cool little display pieces that you can kind of add. You can mix and match. I think that's a kind of a cool concept. I like it better than a lot of people were doctoring up their own, and I did try that. I think I even did a video of it a long time ago, where I was using an old computer and kind of kit bashing and taking parts and microchips out and putting them in. The problem with that, they're sharp. And I was actually not only cutting my hand, but also cutting my pants in my pocket. So I ended up not using it. So this would have been a better idea for me. But for now, I'll keep it here. I might put it on my phone. But the problem is that if every couple of years you upgrade your phone, it might not be the right size. So that's why they put it on sale, and that's fine. All right. I think it's still available as a recording of this video. Before we go on, I do want to also mention very quickly, at the time of this recording, we were just coming off the weekend where we had a huge slew of D23 announcements. Additional parts of the parks are going to get expanded, and pretty much everything is getting something in terms of the Florida parks and the Disneyland California parks. I'm really excited about it. This is not a Disney podcast or YouTube channel. This is Star Wars. The only real Star Wars thing they mentioned was the Mandalorian and Grogu film that they showed some footage of, or that the audience got to see footage of, and only keen people that were able to quickly get a sneak a recording of it. So I did get to see it on Twitter, or X. I don't know if it's still there, but it looks amazing. It just looks like it's going to be a fun ride, literally fun ride with Mando and Grogu, and I'm excited to see how that story plays out. But in addition, they also announced that Mando and Grogu, probably as a tie-in to this movie, will be now featured in the Millennium Falcon ride. That I'm excited about. I hope that they don't get rid of Hondo Ohnaka, or his trusty little droid. And this is, speaking of which, that ties in. These are little the Toydarian Toy Maker little figure sets that you can get. I think I have one or two. I haven't got them all, but I do like Hondo. I think Hondo is a unique character. He was featured, for those who didn't know, he was featured prominently in several episodes of the Clone Wars, and I believe in Rebels. So he's been around. But this is he's kind of like your host on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I wish they'd make a walk around character of this guy, and I know they did have one, but it was just for the opening. I hope that they might consider that. My only I don't want to say disappointment. I was hoping that maybe they would make an announcement about some more character walkarounds in Florida. It's not a big deal. They don't have to make that for a big announcement, so I'm kind of hoping they do it anyway. They just kind of say, hey, because when I went to California just the other week, we did see Boba Fett, and he was interacting with us, and it was so cool. And I really wish that they would expand the character meet and greets that go on at the Disney parks, but in Florida. But we'll see. But this little guy, the only problem is he does come off a lot. He seems to come off of his base, so I might have to re-glue him. But it's cool, and I have a nice little Galaxy's Edge place to put that. Speaking of Galaxy's Edge, we also have Dok-Ondar. Yes, this is the character when you walk into Dok-Ondar's and you go and see all of the animatronic inside the store. This is the guy you're seeing. He's really cute. He's really cool. And I'm glad they made a little kind of plush, supposed to be like a handmade looking toy of him. So that's cool. We also, in that same vein, we have Cad Bane. This was a recent one and a new release. This Dok-Ondar, whom I knew, he's not going to have the same audience appeal because not a lot of people know who he is. They might walk through Galaxy's Edge and never go into Dok-Ondar's. Or if they do go into Dok-Ondar's, they may not be realizing that there's this giant animatronic behind the counter. So he's not really popular unless you're really into the lore. So he was on sale at the Character Warehouse. But this guy was new. Him and Chrysanthemum were both available now as newer toys, based on the Book of Boba Fett. I have a special affinity for Cad Bane only because of our Halcyon trip. We had a guest dressed as Cad Bane on the trip, and he was so lifelike, so real that everybody thought it was a cast member. His name was Paul, so we called him Tall Paul, and so I have an affinity for this. And plus I enjoyed the Cad Bane character from the Clone Wars and bringing them back for live action for Boba Fett. So that was also very cool. Okay, we have the Marshall's badge. Okay, this is just a magnet kind of badge that you can put on your belt or your jacket. All right, so I think this is what Cara Dune ended up doing off screen because the actress is no longer welcome on set, but still, in terms of character, I thought that was a cool thing to have Cara be a Marshal of the Republic. So that was cool. And then of course Wishables, which I'm not really into, honestly. These are little plush things. I've actually been kind of slowly thinning out my plushes, but I did like the Wishables. And I wanted to go after one specific Wishable. And this was not it. This is a First Order Stormtrooper, and he's really cute, but this is not the one I wanted. And this is also not the one I wanted. This is Rey, of course, with the weird flippy hair. The 70s haircut Rey, I'll call her. Cute. Again, unlike any other kind of plush that we've had so far, but not the one I wanted. Look at how long the tag is. You can use it as a handle. And this, not the one I wanted. And you'll notice this is basically all the characters as they appear in Rise of the Resistance. Okay, so that would take place after Last Jedi, before Rise of Skywalker, which is kind of weird for Kylo Ren, because if you think about it, after Last Jedi, he didn't have a helmet anymore. But Rise of Resistance is a ride; it's not part of the movie, so we'll give that a pass. So there we go. So there is also a BB-8 one. I didn't even pick that one up. I have enough BB-8 merch. I did not need another little plush. He was part of the Wishable collection, but this is the guy I wanted. This is whom I wanted, Lieutenant Beck. He is the calamari officer that is, kind of working with Finn and Poe and Nien Nunb and getting us, off Batuu and then getting captured and then escaping. And I love this character. Now, it's no shock that if you look closely at it and just squint a little bit and change your ice and change your color palette in your eye and your imagination, yeah, this was going to be Admiral Akbar. I think Disney had Admiral Akbar ready to go on this ride, and then what did they do in Last Jedi? They killed off Admiral Akbar. I love Star Wars. I am not a complainer, and I will never be a hater. But that one hurt. I mean, Admiral Akbar was my favorite character, and he just kind of died like off to the side. I've said this before on this channel, so I feel like Lieutenant Beck, is like Admiral Akbar reincarnated. So this is now my new favorite calamari in the Star Wars lore, and I want more with him. This is like the only thing. They never made a figure of him yet. They haven't done anything with him yet. This is it. So he's staying. I'm probably going to end up putting those guys right back in next year's yard sale. This guy's staying. So, all right. What else we got? We got some medallions. I think I might have shown this earlier on, but they have these machines where you can go and like pay a few dollars instead of getting pressed coins. Well, you can also get medallions, and I do like these. They're a bit distressed, but we've got, looks like R2-3PO and BB-8. They all have Star Wars like this on the back. This is a real like heavy coin, so that's cool. We got Chewbacca again. We're talking about Galaxy's Edge here. We got Vader and some Stormtroopers. So we got some original trilogy there. And then we got, of course I got to put this out, Mandalorian and Grogu. So there were gold ones, but I could not find them. I think they were limited to the 50th anniversary or the 100th anniversary. I'm not sure. All right. Let's talk some pins. It's another one that I got at the Character Warehouse. Speaking of Hondo, there's Hondo Ohnaka in his. I mean, I'm kind of weirded out by the pin fig thing. I get it. Is it a figure? Is it a pin? It's a fig pin. It's like, it's a pillow. It's a pet. It's a pillow pet. It's a figure. It's a pin. It's a fig pin because it's pretty tall. It's almost the height of a 3 3/4 inch action figure, but it seems like a lot of grandiose. It's in a acrylic box and everything. I'm gonna unbox this one. It just seems kind of, I don't know. I certainly not something I'm not going to be going crazy collecting these. I just got a nice little thing on the back. It was just a Disney Parks one. They have them for all properties, all characters. I'll find him a nice spot right there. Oh, I will say this. Next to him when I went for a drink at Oga's, and when you buy one of those special cocktail glasses or mugs, they literally threw like 20 sets of these, or 20 of these into my bag. So I'm trying to figure out something I want to do with them. Maybe like make a wreath or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something. All right. Speaking of pins, there's quite a few pins here. My daughter actually found a few of these. She's into pin trading, so she traded and found this one. I believe this is Boba Fett. I don't think it's the Mandalorian. I think it's Boba Fett. I could be wrong. But what I've done for her in the past is, for those who don't know, in Disney you can do a lot of pin trading, right? Well, pin trading, if you have Disney official pins, you can go up to any cast member. And a lot of them have like little bulletin boards and everything, and you can take those pins and trade with them. So what some people have started doing as a kind of a nice little thing is they have been selling off pins like 10 at a time, 20 at a time for a very cheap amount of money. They're official Disney pins. You can sometimes buy. I found some at the Lakeland Antique Center that I've talked about in previous episodes. I've actually found some on eBay, and then for a very small amount of money, say for like $10 or $15, you might get 20 pins, and then you have all these pins. And it doesn't matter what they look like, but now you have pins you can trade. So you walk around and you find the pins you do like, and you trade these other pins with them. So that's what my daughter was doing, and every so often she finds a really cool Star Wars pin, and she sends it my way. So. And also, she sometimes will go around and do a little bit of pin shopping. And she found this one. Again, knowing Admiral Akbar is my favorite. This isn't just Admiral Akbar. This is Admiral Akbar with his two of his calamari cronies in the back there. So, like, one of them is the one that says, "Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 27 or 47. I forget which number it is. And he goes, "It's a trap." So, love that. We have, of course, I always ask her to get the May the 4th be with you pin. There were 2 this year. There's this one. And then there's one with all the droids, which I love. For Pride Month, we get the R2. This one slides, you can see, kind of moves along. That's kind of cool. And in the character warehouse, I found another Grogu Baby Yoda pin. So I don't do a heck of a lot of pin collecting. There's a ton of Star Wars pins. If you just did that, it would keep you very busy. But I didn't really get into that too much. So, all right, guys, we're moving right along here. We got this one I'm kind of excited about. I will unbox this. This seems like, what the heck is this? It's kind of hard to see. It's a transport bus. Anybody who's been to Disney knows that getting around is a big deal. You get around with buses. There are Disney transport buses that'll take you from theme parks to resorts and back to Disney Springs to the water parks, and there's all different kinds of buses, but some of them are themed. They have these wraparounds that are themed to different things. And this one, if you look closely, this is themed to Galaxy's Edge. And you have BB-8, and then you have, it's hard to kind of make out, but you have like the Galaxy's Edge there on that side, right? And then it's just a regular bus, and it moves along. It's a little car. I have a couple of buses, but they're actually small. This is the only bus I have this side, but this is the only bus that had the Galaxy's Edge thing. So he's gonna find his home right over here. All right, 2 more to go. I know we're running a little long, but there's a lot of little stuff to get here. They have updated their holocrons, so I picked up one. I figured maybe I'll get the other one a little later. I've noticed now the holocrons in the old holocrons are now, of course, put on sale in the character warehouse. Of course they are. So I don't know if this is... Oh. Here you are. Okay. Now... Oh, it's cool. Now the only thing is, I don't know. There's a charging port. I'm trying to... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you can connect this one with one of the other ones. Interesting. Okay. So it has a little container, and we have not 1, not 2, but we have 5. 5, count them, 5. All right, so rapid fire. Let me get these open so I can. All right. I like the new containers. They kind of have a cool. They kind of open up like what they call like coaxium, which I think is cool. All right, now let's get this guy. How do I get this guy? Yeah, man. There we go. All right, let's put this guy in, see what we got. Goes in like that. And now we are purple. And I think I have to...
The Force has its own will, and that...
Oh.
What are you doing? Be mindful of your feelings.
Okay, that
The
was...
Sith use the dark side.
There's like all sorts of stuff going on. Alright. I'm going to close it up here. Alright, so as you can see, and as, you know, there's a bunch of cool... I think I'm as excited as I am for the kyber crystal. I just love these little containers, and they fit cool in there. And apparently, you can put them together with the other kyber crystal. So I'll do that off camera. But that is pretty freaking awesome. Okay, so I love these like kind of like in park added little things that they do. They're really creative, and I really appreciate the work that they do. Now, oh my God, there's this little tiny thing here. Holy cow! And oh my goodness, I'm gonna need. Okay, so it does tell you which each crystal when you open it up. This is Mace Windu, so that is cool. I'm gonna have to keep that though. Oh my God, though, it's so tiny. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to figure out all the writing here, but and what's cool too is I think these kyber crystals also work with the sabers, and I think they've actually updated some of the saber stuff so that they'll work they may even work with Sabi sabers, which is cool because I think for a while there they wouldn't work with the Sabi sabers, which is the ones you build. So anyway, but really cool stuff. I'm so excited that they do this. I really hope that they continue to kind of update and expand those kind of things. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna play all of these on camera though. I think I'm gonna maybe I'll do one. Let's do one more. We got yellow, and this looks like it is. It says Indira Stokes. Indira Stokes. I'm not quite sure who that is. See, now we get it. You know, my knowledge of Star Wars lore is pretty good for anything related to movies, anything related to. Come on. Yikes. Okay. Let's open this up again. We'll do one more. Yellowing.
All it takes is one jet.
They all get interrupted. That's so weird. Maybe if I just do one.
Do not glory in the death of your...
That's weird. I wonder if that's I gotta check on that. I'm gonna have to do some research. It seems like they don't run fully. Maybe I have to plug the other one in. So I'm gonna check on that. All right, but I'm not gonna do the rest of them because I know most people are probably interested in the piece de resistance, Carson Teva. Now, special shout out to Kara DJ from Into a Larger World podcast and fanzine friend. Some could say I was a Jedi to her Padawan one day, many moons ago, figuratively speaking. But if you're watching, I am so excited that you were able to get and check out. You have to be a Patreon. Check out her podcast. She has an interview this week, and again, this is going to come out weeks after the fact, so go back and check on it. She has an interview with none other than the actor, whose name is escaping me, I'm sorry to tell you, who plays Carson Teva, which is awesome. That is freaking awesome. I love the character of Carson Teva. I love that he's kind of the glue holding together in a lot of ways all of the other characters that are in the post-Empire. Oh my. I haven't collected too many of these Black Series helmets. Not for nothing. It just I have a couple. I like them. but these seem to pick up a lot of room. So, got our strap. All right, this box is going over here. All right, let's get this together. I remember doing this. All right, I'm going to pause this to get this ready. There it is, Carson Teva. Now, there are electronics. You can talk into this, and there's actually dialogue. I haven't been able to figure out a good way to be able to hear it. My mic doesn't pick it up so well. So, but there's his helmet. Okay, got some lived-in look. I mean, I love the Black Series helmets, man. I know how much these things cost when Master Replicas used to do them, and this is like a fraction of that. And they look great. Great for display. Not the most comfortable to wear, but you know, if you do want to get out there and be Carson Teva and put on one of your arms, you know, basically all you got to do is change the helmet, and you can be many a different character. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that's it for part 2. We have 2 more parts coming, so stay tuned. They'll be released every couple of days. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification, do all that stuff. Check me out on Instagram, X, Darth Tuba Stars unboxing page on Facebook. And thank you to Red 5 for supporting the channel, and check out all of the Red 5 network content. And again, because Carson Teva actor is going to be interviewing, being interviewed on Into a Larger World podcast. Check that out as well. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you. This is the way.